Okay, so make sure the frame is okay here. This is the usual part where I'm just talking to myself for a little bit, get readjusted here. Oh, we already got someone. Okay. So as usual, if you guys have any questions, put it in the chat, please. But I wanted to give kind of some tips for the off season was what I was thinking. So, of course, if there's anything that you wanted to talk about in particular, you can put that down in the comments in the chat section here. I'm just going to bring up because there have been some moves that have happened. So, I could talk a little bit about that. There we go. Getting some more people jumping on. So, let's see. All right. Well, I guess what we can do first is we'll go through and talk about um, the different moves that have happened, just some of the announcements. So I'm wearing my Let's Talk Paintball. Vince was nice enough to give me a shirt, so I appreciate that. Um, my chat is not on the right one. There we go. Hey, Fuse. So if you guys have anything that you want to talk about instead, of course, put it in the chat as well. I have kind of a little outline for myself over here, a little cheat sheet. But I was thinking what we can do is talk a little bit about some of the moves that have happened, just some of the announcements of different things. So it looks like Damage is not going to be with Bunker King anymore. One of the guys had posted about that. So it was something that I'm sure with them doing better, GI doesn't want them using Bunker King stuff. They want them using head to toe GI in some form or fashion. So now that GI has the was it the Trinity loader, it's something that they're able to promote. So it looks like they're going to be wearing EVS goggles from the picture that I saw, and that they are going to be using the Sector stuff, which is Jason's company. Social, I'm sure is still going to be involved there. So, yeah. So let's see. Okay. Really, really good for Impact to keep Alex Goldman. That's something that is that dude's a monster. Like he's just one of those players that he's just an attacker, but very, very smart. And I think trying to keep him is absolutely a great idea. I'm not sure if they're having to pay more. Where will I be playing? I have no idea, honestly. Like right now, I'm just kind of, just taking the time off and just kind of seeing what happens. And kind of going from there. Like I said, the plan is to be done with pro. But yeah, just I have no idea where I'm going to be landing. With Aaron not being with the Hurricanes anymore, I think is going to be interesting. Aaron's a great dude. I've seen him when he played with the Jits and played with Mutiny, I believe, as well. He's a good player. So I'm not sure if it's just real life or if it's going to be just maybe he got an offer from somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where he's living now. So that could be something. Grayson going to Aftermath, I think, is great. Grayson kind of has jumped around a little bit. I mean, he played with Dynasty, I think, for like 2 events, played with AC Diesel. Smart player, good aggressive player. I think him being able to just be kind of a foundation for them because a lot of guys from Aftermath are kind of jumping around or moving around. So I know that Mike Hinman, doesn't matter who he has on the field, the dude knows how to put together a team. So yeah, the really, really big one that I was very surprised with was X Factor picking up Cody Mikowski. Cody is a longtime veteran, and for him to just not be with Infamous anymore, I don't know if they had to. I'm not sure if they needed to buy out his contract. I thought I remember seeing something about him having some contract long term with Infamous. So maybe they had to buy it out. I'm not really sure exactly. So it's something it'd be interesting to see how he fits in, especially with X Factor losing Rainey. Having that kind of center presence is definitely going to be good. Um, Let's see. Let's go to so Infamous picking up Joe. Joe's been around for a long time. Joe is a very methodical player. The dude puts in work. Like that's just one thing about him. He's always just yeah, it's just how he is. And he's learned a lot. So he's been around at the top level now for a while. So it's cool for him to go over to Infamous. How he'll fit in, I'm not sure. I don't know what's happening because Sean Saucedo is not with Infamous anymore. And yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what's going to be happening with that. Um, let's see. What was the other one? Yeah, so Rainey getting picked up was definitely good for Damage. Damage already has a very deep roster. So I don't know if they're just trying to have a big center presence as well. Now, Revo picking up a couple people is definitely big. I don't know if they came into some more money and they were able to do that. Caleb and Sean going over to there, I think is going to be good for them. Definitely the weird one is seeing Ivan, who helped Notorious get their pro spot, him not playing with them in pro. I don't know if it's just a matter of maybe he couldn't commit to a schedule. I don't think he lives in Texas, so maybe it was just a one-time thing. I'm not really exactly sure. So again, guys, if you're just joining, just kind of running down some moves that have happened, kind of my take on it. I'm sure that there's going to be some more. I mean, who knows what's going to be going on exactly? Paintball can be interesting. So guys that like Cody that are great players are moving to other teams. So it could just be, I mean, it's tough. Like there is something to loyalty, but there's also something to if you can make your living playing paintball, like yeah, that sounds awesome. Chewy going over to Energy, I think is going to be great for them. They already have a good aggressive team, but they do know how to pull back. And I think having someone like Chewy that can really just go and just blow up a side. He's a very good aggressive player and will not back down from a fight. He's definitely a bulldog. So when I played with him with the ML Kings, he was a player that it's just like, yeah, whatever it is that you needed done, okay, cool. He's gonna go after it. So yeah. So, anyways, let's go ahead and I'm gonna get off this unless there's some weird announcement that just happened, but doesn't look like it. Um, yeah. So let's talk about the off season. So what is it specifically that could be good or bad or whatever for you as a player or just overall? Let me get this. Make sure that my chat is good. And yeah, it is subscribers only for the chat. So you got to make sure that you go. It has to be at least 5 minutes, and then you'll be able to send those messages. So in the off season, these are just kind of my, I guess, tips on things that you can do. Doing a third person video. What does contain? Where your shot plate man holding a gap. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would actually be really cool. Third person video of what it is to contain someone. So meaning like holding a gap and understanding like what you need to do. Yeah, that's all chess. That would actually be a great video. I am gonna yeah, I'm gonna put that in. Let me get this. So that's good. Before I forget. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. How long have I been playing paintball? Man, like 20 years, something like that. I think I started playing when I was about 13. Sounds about right. And I'm 33 now. So I've been around the sport for a long time. Um, Competitively, probably about 15 years, something like that. And then, yeah, and then I was playing pro for 5 years. So yeah, so that's me. Yeah, but I like that, Aiden. Thanks for putting that in there. Yeah, so these are just kind of some things that I recommend. You don't have to take this. That's the thing with recommendations is that it could be something that you're like, I don't agree with that at all. Completely fine. Just take everything I say with a grain of salt, and it's going to be something that maybe it'll help you out, maybe it won't. That's okay. The first thing I would say is taking a break. I know that that sounds very weird. There is something to going out. Like the killers are like this. So if you know semi-pro paintball, killers here in Florida, they are always at the field, and there is something to going in and making sure that you're putting in work. But I also know players like Keith Brown that are playing all the time. And I think it was last season, actually. He was like, yeah, I haven't played in a couple weeks or whatever because he's playing constantly. And like that's his job is playing paintball. So it's something that taking a break is good. Now, that break could be you go and play some um go and play some rec ball or something like that. How legit are the ML Kings? I believe that they are looking for people. I mean, with Chewy leaving, I don't know what's going to happen if there's anyone else. I'm not sure exactly. So I believe that it would probably come down to what you could commit to better. So, like, if you are closer to where level is at, then the Kings are probably going to be playing more out of Florida, is my understanding. Could all change, but having that just in the back of your mind. So, if you're trying to decide, level has a great program. And my understanding is Pando has a great facility up there too. So yeah, so it would probably come down to where it is that you are, whether it be if you're closer to Florida or closer to level up in Ohio. So yeah, so taking a break, I know sounds kind of weird. Oh, you're in Arizona. Oh, that's far from everything. Oh man, that's a tough one. It comes down to commitment. Maybe even ask them what is it specifically that they're looking for. I believe both of those organizations have people that you can contact and just see what's the commitment. Like, what is it? Because you don't want to waste their time and you don't want to waste your time. There's no reason to fly out to either location, potentially get a spot, and then not be able to even commit. So that's one of the things that, yeah, that's a tough one. I'm sorry. I know the struggle. Like I've flown out to places and yeah, I mean when I was with the Saints, like we were flying all over the place. So I totally get it. Like it's not easy and it's not cheap. But yeah, so I guess what we can do is since we're talking about tryouts, we can I'll jump around. I did want to talk about tryouts. Yeah, no problem, Nick. So with tryouts, something that's really important is that what is it that you can commit to? I think that that is something that you need to make sure that you know what is it that they are expecting. Also, just ask, well, it's tough in upper divisions because there might be some sort of financial compensation that they have in terms of, sponsorships, or there's some money that's there to help out with the team. But yeah, I think kind of understanding like what is it financially, because there's no reason. I think Hinman even put this up. There's no reason to go and commit to something when you don't know that you can do it. Like you want to make sure that you're going in completely level-headed and be honest with yourself. It's not a bad thing. Like don't go into a whole bunch of debt just to play paintball. Like, yeah, it's a great sport. We all love playing, but don't just go and do that. I was definitely dumb earlier. I was able to pay off the debt, but I definitely, kind of that FOMO, fear missing out. But real life happens. So you just have to kind of balance things out. But if you can afford it and it's something that looks good, then yeah, I mean, I think the ML Kings are definitely going to be continuing to be on the rise. I believe Level Up is going to be another team that'll be a contender. I don't know what happened to them at World Cup, but for them to have a semi-pro team, I think is good. But with tryouts, I think you should also be honest with yourself. What is it that you can go and attain? So if you think that you're at the pro level, like you're playing pros on a regular basis, you're holding your own, making moves and kind of getting that respect, that's definitely going to be something. If you don't feel like you're right there, but you think maybe semi-pro, and even in semi-pro and pro, there's different levels. Like you're not going to go to a tryout for impact if you've never played pro before. Um, like that kind of stuff. Same thing with semi-pro. There's like PB Fit. It would be more difficult to get in with that organization because they've been at the top level in semi-pro now. Um, consistently. So you just want to be honest with yourself. If you know you can't fly out all the time, don't go to a team that's going to be flying consistently unless they have some sort of compensation. I wouldn't recommend asking, do they have compensation? Because you don't want to be that guy. But it is something just to weigh out. And it's not a bad thing if you stay in the same division for 2 years, if you need it. Now, if you're looking for the challenge and you're looking for the bump up, again, look at the different semi-pro teams and what's local to you, and see what is it specifically that they're looking for in a player. Like when I had tried out years ago now for damage, they were looking more for a snake player, and that's just not what I was. And it wasn't bad. I got good experience. I got to go play a bunch, and then they said like, okay, was that when they were saying I was right there, but they were looking more for, that's when they picked up Mikey Waring and Silos the first time. They were looking for those missiles, and I didn't have the speed that they had. So like I was definitely more like I was overweight then. So it was something that I had to work towards, but you kind of take everything as you can. But yeah, if you're going to a tryout, and whether it be that you are trying to stretch yourself, like if you've played D3 and you want to jump up to D2 or semi-pro, just know that the competition is going to be there, but just make sure that you're not trying to be this superstar, because there's no reason for that. I would take a guy that is a good team player over someone that's trying to go and make these big moves. Yeah, it's great when a player can go and do that, but if they can't work as a team, I don't care. Like it doesn't matter. Like the reason why Dynasty does so well is they play so well together as a team. There's other teams that you can see when they don't work together and guys are trying to be individual, that's when the whole thing falls apart. You're going to get picked apart. So yeah, just kind of understand that stuff. So something else, and of course, guys, please, if you have any questions or anything like that, please put them in the comments down here. I appreciate everyone jumping in here. So yeah, so going back to taking a break, whether that be even just one weekend or whatever, like just have something that you do. And again, that could even be, I know some guys that went out and played a scenario. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? And then locally here in Florida, there was a old school 10-man event. So if you're doing something like that, like, yeah, it's still competitive, but you can go and kind of take a break from the constant grind. But yeah, go and have some fun. Relax a little bit. Again, I brought up Keith Brown before. I remember him saying like, dude, like it's just play every single weekend. And it's not a bad thing to take a break. Even if you ask Patty Gleason, uh, with Patty Gleason, I mean, I even asked him like, what is it in regards uh, to breaks, in regards to like rest days and stuff like that. And I think he was saying like, yeah, take like two rest days. Like it's important to make sure that mentally and all of that you're not draining yourself and overdoing it. The other side of that is this is really the time that you can really focus in on, okay, now I can take a step back and see what were my flaws this past weekend. What do I need to drill more on? Is it my snapshot is off? Is it my laning? Is it running and gunning? Is it a mix of those? Is it sliding? Is it something I need to sharpen? All of those things, and then now you have a little bit more time, most likely, to hit the gym. I know guys in the north, when really all you have is indoor. Um, it might not be the best situation, so working out more could be something that's beneficial. And do I have a favorite high end marker? I actually legitimately like my DSR. Like my DSR Plus shoots fantastic. So I mean, I like them. So, um, and then the other thing I would say is make sure that you're setting goals. Like, what are your goals? If it is to play at a certain level, again, be realistic. Do I need to, like, I have a local team here that I've helped out before, and they are like, we want to be playing semi-pro within this many years, and like they understand it's gonna take time to get to that point. So when you have a group that is like that, and you understand that it's not something that you just jump in. Like even like Notorious is a great example right now. Right now, their goals should just be let's win a match. And then from there, you can go to the next step. So Notorious is coming into pro. It's a different level. Yes, they've earned their spot, they've made it into pro, but it just gets harder. So you can't come in and be like, we're going to win this event. No, go in confident, but understand that, okay, what's our goal for this season? All right, by the end of the season, we want to be at least 2-2 by World Cup. Great. If all your goal is I just want to be in the upper echelon of my local league. Awesome. Whatever it is that you have those goals now, but be realistic. Don't go in and be like, I'm going to be playing pro and get, some six-figure contract. It's not going to happen. Oh, I haven't had the, hey, Matt. Oh, I got to call you out on something. So, all right. If you guys, so Matt, when he had, uh, don't worry, it's all good. There was it Chicago? I think it was Chicago. I didn't realize that he was filming, and he was just like, "Look who I found." And I thought Matt was talking to someone else, and I didn't realize that he was filming. So if I look like a deer in the headlights, in that vlog, I know this is like months ago now. That's why. But yeah, you guys should check out Matt's videos, by the way. If you want to talk about it, actually, Matt, you can even put some stuff in here too. Um, uh, Being someone that's in the divisional grind now, I think he would agree completely that you have to have goals. Like, you can't just have this, we're going to win every event. No, no, no. You come in with realistic goals for each event. And then from there, you can start increasing. So, like, even when I was with the Kings or, with the Saints, it's like, okay, we just need to win. Keep you on your creator toes. Sure. Why not? We'll go with that. I'm just going to get you back at some point. I don't know when, but I'll get you. So yeah, if you have those realistic goals, it's going to be a lot better. It's also not going to drain you, because if you go in, you're like, we're going to win this event, and then you go like 1-3. Well, was that even a realistic goal? Now for Dynasty, they can come in and be like, we're going to win this many events this year, because it's weird if they don't make Sunday. Like, the fact that they didn't make Sunday last year at, was it the Texas Minor, was crazy. So it's just one of those things that for them, it's like making Sunday is a normal thing. But for a team like Notorious coming in, them making Sunday is something that might take a year. It might not. It could be something that happens quicker. But look at Level. Level's a great example of this. They took the time and they went through and did that. Same thing with the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are very level headed, because Mike Bianca, who coaches them, is a great paintball player, but also just a great analytical brain for paintball. If you guys ever get the chance to pick his brain about it, you absolutely should. He's a great dude too. But he's one of those guys that I'm sure that when they went into their first pro match, they went, okay, our goal today is to at least win a couple points. Might not be to win even one match, but then when they went in and they beat, who was it? Uprising. That's great. That's fantastic for their organization. And it's not even like they squeaked by. They 6-0'd them, I think. So it was not good. Hey, Marcus, I thought you said you were hiding in the backyard. So yeah, so that's just some things that I would say. You do want to make sure that, so my members have already seen this video. It's already up for them. But I am going to be doing a giveaway. So B Wine, they make a gel blaster, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway for one of their gel blasters. So Thursday, you have to make sure that you guys have clicked the bell, so that way you can see when it is that I'm going to be, or like the instructions of what you need to do in regards to the giveaway. So just a heads up about that one. But yeah, I mean, like, someone had asked, like, what am I doing next season? Again, like, uh, uh, sorry to hear that, man. So yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, I'm just seeing what happens. I'm just kind of going with the flow, kind of taking a little bit of a breather here, and it's good. It's definitely a good thing, and just, yeah, I mean, like I had mentioned before, that the plan is to be done with pro, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna leave paintball. Like, I don't think that's ever gonna happen, but you know, I don't know. Like, my son just possibly broke his leg. So, like, what does that mean? Am I going to be at home more because I need to take care of him? If that's the case, then yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do that. So, same thing if my wife needed help with something, like, yeah, it's just real life. You gotta go with the flow. But yeah, so I guess we'll see. I want to get through the holidays before anything. Yeah, so he's doing a lot better. He possibly got a what's it called, a toddler fracture, or a spiral fracture. So we're going to the orthopedic surgeon tomorrow. So we'll see about that. So, but yeah, so just basically like, all right, God, your will be done with everything. So just kind of seeing what happens. Um, uh, yeah, yeah. So that's yeah, dude. All right, I am officially old now, apparently, because I was literally out of the shower and I went to like grab the towel and like all I did was just put my head back and I like pulled something in my neck. I'm like, what the heck? Does this mean I'm old now? And I think it is. He feel about the number of bunkers on the field nowadays. Huh. I so here's the thing with the whole back in the day thing. If you took a high-end Division 2 team now and put them in pro a couple years ago, they'd probably do pretty well. I think the paintball IQ has increased so much that it's really difficult to see exactly like if there was less bunkers. I don't know if that would necessarily be helpful. I mean, I see what you're saying. Like having less bunkers is definitely a good thing. It's just you already have guys that are shooting gaps. Like, I don't know if it needs to go to like a 4 pod and a loader limit. Actually, when I talked with Goldman about, I think it was the M500, he was like, "Oh, I love it because he's a very aggressive player." But I don't know. It's interesting to see what would happen with that. I do like the modular bunkers. I mean they shouldn't have had a wall at World Cup, but um, yeah, it's really tough to say because like just the level of play has increased so much, and just the IQ and the breakdown of the playing itself, all of those things is such a yeah. Doing drills and setting small goals. Yeah, so that's another thing is when you're doing drills, even setting goals for drills. Okay, I'm gonna go out and my percentage is gonna be this. Actually, one of the guys on the ML Kings back when I first started, Slava, he plays in Europe with Gladiatori Uniscano. I'm probably butchering it. I think it's Italian. But I think he was saying like, yeah, what percentage is your drills? And it's just something that he takes from he had done like martial arts and all this stuff, and just like any sort of statistics you can kind of bring in are going to be helpful. So if you go in, you're like, all right, I want to hit this percentage of shots. Okay, like try to keep track of that. Try to have it where at this distance I'm more accurate or whatever, with a grain of salt. I realize that sometimes the paint that you shoot at practice might not be the same at an event. Sometimes even the paint at events can be hot garbage. So what are you going to do with that? So it's something that is helpful, but kind of okay within this range. This is where I want to be. Is hitting out of 10 shots, I want to hit this many if I'm snapping. And then when I switch to this hand, and then if I'm messing up, what I like to do is that if I need to hit it a certain number of times in a row, I'm going, and if I don't hit that, I stay on that side. So that way you're getting more reps. Like even with the running gun stuff, that's what I meant. With the running gun stuff, I'll walk back and then running gun again. So if I miss, I need to walk back and do it again. So if you are just killing it on your left side and your right side is bad, you're getting more reps that way. And just being able, it's kind of like layups or, free throw shots or whatever, or, 3-point shots. Different points of the key are going to be a little bit different. So, okay, on this side, I'm really good, and this side, I'm not. And sometimes that changes from week to week. There's times that you'll have it where your lanes are just on point, and then your snapshot is garbage. And then the next weekend you'll go and do drills and it's like, uh, your running gun is amazing and your lanes are better, but now your snapshot, is not good. It's just there's so much stuff that can happen. So just being able to be accurate at any sort of moment is really important. So having some sort of goal like that is good. Um, I need to shoot the target this many times before I move on to the next thing. And even if that means like, oh, I feel like I'm going to throw up, like stay out there and get it done. And then you can take your break. Don't kill yourself, but, push yourself. Absolutely. Um, so yeah, but let's see. Anything else? Any other advice? I would say definitely go and have fun. Like I said, having a break is important. But go and have fun. If you just want to go screw around one weekend and it doesn't matter, you go and play like local field here. Markham calls it, I think, Iron Man, where I think one person is allowed just to run around and shoot. Or no, it's basically whoever taps out. I think that's what it is. So um, uh, yeah, yeah, we don't play not to, of course, but like for me, I know for myself, if I was going out, I don't like to waste time. So it's like all business. And I think it's important to make sure that you also are having fun with it. Like, okay, let's go mess around and go and do this or whatever. Jose from ML Kings, when him and I would drill together before he moved to Puerto Rico, or moved back to Puerto Rico, him and I would mess with each other all the time. Like it was just something that like we had this like brotherhood that happened. So it was definitely something that's a good thing. But yeah, so like go screw around, make sure that you do that periodically, especially in the off season. Oh, that's what I want to say. I don't know if it's really important for you guys to make sure that you have like sponsorships. There really aren't a lot of sponsorships in paintball. The paint is going to be the most important, but if you can get something with your local field first, that's going to be more important. Helping out your local field is going to be most important because then you're going to have a place to play at. You're supporting them. And the more that you help them, the more that they'll help you. These teams that go out and want to get head to toe all one company isn't necessarily gonna help them. Like there's really no reason for that other than making it easier in the pit. Like everyone has the same equipment, but like if you're playing D3 or something, like why do you need to be head to toe in all the same gear? My opinion is shoot what you like and use what you like until it gets to a point that okay, now we need to look at these certain companies and like what is it that can happen, so on and so forth. But these teams that go out and they're like, "Oh, we're sponsored by so and so." You're really not. Like you're getting deals, which is great. Like if you have a company that you like and you want to support them, like yeah, go hit them up and see what kind of deal you can get and see what's expected. But um yeah, like just in regards to that, I think some people get so focused on like, "Oh, we need to be head to toe all the same." If you're playing lower divisional, it's really not that important. It's not something that's like super, super necessary. Um, Now, the other side of that is let's say that your local field does have some sort of a deal with a company and you need to use that stuff to get a better deal. Okay. That's it's going to be a little bit different, but I would say use what you like until you're kind of forced to change to something different, which is not a bad thing. It's just like, you just got to go with it. I know that sounds really, really bad, but I've used stuff. I've been sponsored by a lot of different companies, so I don't have to be specific with anything. There's been some great companies and hot garbage products, but the thing is like when you play at certain levels, you have to use certain equipment and you don't really have a choice. So it's kind of like, all right, I guess this is what we're using. And, you go from there. Because also you don't want to burn bridges. There is something to loyalty as well. That was something with the ML Kings. Like loyalty is a really, really, yeah, that's really all it is. Sponsorship is really just a discount. Like that's really all that it is. So if you have a product that you guys all really like, okay, go hit them up. But yeah, it's not like you're gonna get all this stuff for free, and just because you won some local D4 event, please don't contact these companies expecting to get a whole bunch of free stuff. Like, Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Like, it's not going to happen. There's teams that will stay and be these superstars in, like, the divisional world or whatever, and will eventually get that. I know some divisional teams that do that, but yeah. How important is self-belief in climbing the ranks? Oh, it's huge. Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge thing. Making sure that you believe in yourself and that you can go and do it is half the battle because that's like showing up. So knowing that when you go in, like when you step on the field, it really should be like, I don't care who's on the other side. I'm gonna go and destroy these people. Like you want to go in with that really like confident mentality. Um, but yeah, climbing the ranks, it's like if you have certain goals, I mean, I've talked about it before where I flew up to Chicago for 1 day. I flew up the morning, yeah, Sunday morning, flew up to Chicago, practiced with Ronnie Dizon and I think Barga when he played with Aftermath. Um, or someone else on Aftershock, and then flew back that same day. Like I was gonna do what it took to get to the level that I wanted to. There's some guys that don't really care. They just want to go and enjoy whatever division they're playing at. And if they kind of get forced up, then okay, just because of divisional points and all that stuff. But if that's not important to you, then yeah, go enjoy it. Of course, you want to do the best that you can, but yeah, believing in yourself is huge. Like that's just there's really really good players that will choke in high stress situations because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in their own ability. And it's like you just went out last weekend and smoked people at practice and now because you're at the event you can't. Like you need to figure something out with that one. But yeah. So I am actually going to be signing off here. I know this is not as long as some of the other guys. I apologize for that, but thank you to everyone that jumped on. I appreciate it, guys. Be on the lookout. I am going to do that giveaway on Thursday, so that video will drop around 2 o'clock on Thursday Eastern time. So make sure that you look through and you'll be able to see that. Of course, if you guys have anything that you want a specific video on, you can go ahead and put that in. Message me on Instagram or Facebook or even commenting on videos, whatever. I try to keep updated with that. Or you got to watch the video to see how to enter the giveaway. Yeah, Matt, it's always good seeing you, bud. I still need to Matt, we got to talk because I want to get one of those shirts, or actually, I don't need another shirt. My wife is going to hate me for that. But I really like that another deposit sticker. So yeah. So I guess I'll see you guys a little bit later, and be safe. And as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.